Mari sofra unyame sababa. Mayamo Bibia aha mawakwaba fambra Cstv News at 24 esomena so in summer a trego or my movie my Sunday yajapini yade air baba so mo. Na in some no usually bedimu akutene ankasa. Ora Clement a park at the Sababetu Eja Esa with the woman a share TV at the share mu ebabwa amache se year one a 1 year juma year or my so it's me ate. Na kwachi ofo sumi kase dia waya ye dia ede akoma wona to enchem eto won ewo eye mori na fesu ye dia ni ekoche mu ewo gomoa akochi a meka se dia eye akwenhye bi esi ama ne pamiensa dia omafemu ato anananam ewo ensie do weni nsema hodo ende wie yaje penia ye de eba besomo nyimeko we na dani de ni no muso yase a yaje penny yade kasiye so ede ebesomo Sarah's Dream Jewelries, Amsa Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing, KS Perfumes Co. Limited, NAB Apartment Hotel, and Office so Crystal Director Shop. Amuno so yasin newe yade kasiye so ede ebesomo. Oko yabe fidgeting time so Facebook no CSTV GH sanso ana YouTube wa odo adoma no boswa bibia yede ebetum so benya bi ahwe ede amje so maame ama bafu amayenda ye husima ye ba yede nchirima nkasa ebesomo. Yabasha yakasia no asia yedieni elkwa kotremo ewo adisia ensemu na sofo abedetra oshe adisia sem Dr. Clement Park na nde wode ne sematu edwa wo trebu ese wona woko vocational school yetivet no agese beboa pa ama insani njuma omokosua pon ekosua no abeboa ama chese oba omanga na hanu se ya wona wonni edwuma no so eto ebeti.
We look up to countries like Japan, like Singapore, like South Korea, like China, like Malaysia, even America and Germany. One of the reasons why they have progressed the way they have is because they gave a lot of attention to and invested in and encouraged their students to take up TVET. So that is where we are moving towards. You don't just make yourself an entrepreneur by default, but you are able to assist in the nation's development. So TVET is a way to go, and with that, we wouldn't be having unemployed graduates association. Because whether you are a plumber, you are a mechanic, you are an auto mechanic, a fridge repairer, a steel bender, you have something to do. You can create and even employ others. This is why we want to encourage TVET.
America say ayo ora kwachi ofosu waye nyame so ade amachese adehia wo ho ekadwemu aye tidal waves yibi anachesende wode ayede ede akoma adehia se ne be ya won ho so betimi ahehan wo.
Some recalcitrant countries who still engage in some, So indeed, I've had discussions with the district executive, who's also the district security, council chairman, and he's liaising with the relevant authorities here to mount surveillance and apprehend anybody who engages in that kind of activity. I've also sounded a word of caution to the inhabitants, and I believe that it will sink. It will go down well with them. I've cautioned them against the dangers of that practice. There are some of them who may do it not with an intent to hurt anybody, but they may not realize immediately the effects of their action. But we've been pressed upon them to appreciate the consequences of actions like that, and we believe that going forward, they will cooperate with the security authorities to put an end to that practice. Right. It is those who are in most urgent need who we are assisting in that regard. But a more permanent solution is being found. And I'm sure when you visited the place, you saw that work was far advanced on the sea defense project. Indeed, it was one of the key issues that I campaigned on. So once I got into office, I engaged the relevant authorities, and the processes were sped up to commence the construction of the sea defense. They've come quite far, but it's unfortunate that where the incident happened over the weekend is just where they have gotten to. So I'm certain that in the coming weeks and months, they should be able to complete it to protect the people permanently from this disaster. But we will offer help to those who need it the most. So I decided to come over quickly to assess the situation for myself. I've been able to do the assessment, and I've seen that the information that reached me was actually accurate. Thankfully, there was no loss of life. There were no injuries, and we thank God for that. But the affected individuals are in distress as we speak. Fortunately, we've been able to arrange with their relatives and loved ones who have accepted to live with them temporarily. So they are sheltered. They are not exposed to the vagaries of the weather. But beyond that, we needed to bring them some relief items. So I've been able to mobilize some significant quantities of relief items, food in the shape of rice, beans, maize, corn, oil, cooking oil, dresses, mattresses, blankets, soaps, buckets, and what have you. NADMO has also reacted quickly. They've come here to do an assessment. They've seen the numbers. They've also contributed significantly to the relief items. So for now, I would say that the affected victims are adequately catered for. But beyond this, we need to move a step further to resettle them. And that is the next conversation we are having. So I'm sure that in due course, we should assist them to resettle and move them out of danger.
Na arahosema efri gomwa akochi eye kwantempo eso eba enese shan bia ne registration number no eye DV954-46 achese for tanka bin so no so ne registration number no eye GN4328-15 afi tipa track ono so ne registration number no eye GT9026-26 ede akudi ehyiemu ameka say emu nipa miensa de omafemu ato anananum ewo ensiedo na wo kyeremu ede private car no na wo free ni ba ode neni kyeremu ewo kasua kwantempo no eso achese kwaya na wo fa so no ofa manfa sa kwan no so amachese ede ekodi ehia ehyan miensan etimi ekobo mu na yekase de na botofo a no wenya bosome no anan anso eka ho bia se yekase de waya nyame edea
so ekwan ni ba kaso ni ba kwan em bi so amoye enti be nya traffic enso so to enti nya boko nya edi ni ka ni di tan ka yachi enti sa boko sa de ba sa enti yes a private car so free ni da oba enti ko pa no ni esa some tan ka yachi ni mani enti sa tan ka no e ko se na ba se se na private man no e bi akọ so na no so go enti be share tan ka no tan ka so bo no mokoto that ni ba tu ka na small girl bi kan akademi ko te ya ko kan on the cost of that on the one ko so yeah If you can't, and you so thank I know, so we see Emma. Personal side, no. The question come from or share private blue on and yes, the tanker when or tries for the budget. If you time away, bow break me, and I told it seems if you cannot cross so, I will see. I am a will be boom, no, until the hour, while the other say no overtaking cry, walk up, and the time we try for the budget by cannot add a sambar and no the thing. Ama nipa mmiɛnsa no nyinaa akwadaa ketewa wɔ sɛ 3 months koraa mmɛhyɛ sɛ wɔnyaeɛ akwadaa ketewa nkyɛn mo da fa no kɔ yɛnim sɛ ebi a ɛte asasefo mu
na nanwada na beto edwa ese asante achim north marshal bedwani eye owura ohene kwame frempong ade ese wakọ anase mpanifo etimi aso ne pechi na endi da anache se okọ piemu ewo marshal bedwafia speaker Alban Kings Osman Agbagben ene marshal bedwafo no etna se na wode to wani ese woni Dutch impedifo no ebenya kasa ho na afi so akwaya yatibi ache aye openi so betinye atanase na ye bobo insem no
It's regrettable that one of the members of this house is alleged to be on the wrong side of the law. You've already been given the details. What I can add is that Parliament is working with government to ensure justice is done in this matter. I will in due course keep the House updated with developments in the matter. Meanwhile, permit me on your behalf to convey the empathy of the House to members of his family and his constituents for this unfortunate development, and to call on them to exercise restraint, for we are with them and we are doing everything to make sure that he is accorded all the due respect, dignity, and the opportunities available to all of us in international law. So please keep your cool and leave those who are involved. I'm happy that voluminous information has been given you as to the steps that have been taken by the Minister of Foreign Affairs together with our mission.
Na mrashe bedwem omo chiame Alban Kings Osman Agbagben ne kasawi etre no sanso ede etu edwa ese bambafo eni ho kwai se wode adehwe betu de ne se mrashe bedwani bia no wose woche no na yemayenti ensema opini ede etu dwani bi
as to whether they have gone on the wrong side of the law or not. It's not for the security agents to seek chair of the speaker before a member can be apprehended or even invited to respond to inquiries. That is not the state of the law.
Na na hafe mayanko apumude ensem no na swafo wo hwe apumude nsenso eso kwabena minta akando inde wabo manye ese ebola yade a ate atisne ewo obi maiso no be piemo ewo oman Ghana ha no se ya enya de se yenya cases ba kokra.
Dear countrymen and women, the Ministry of Health over the past 1 week has issued 2 publications on Ebola. Last week, WHO declared Ebola as a public health emergency of international concern. Ebola is a viral disease spread through direct contact with blood, body fluids, secretions, and contaminated surfaces or materials. People experiencing symptoms such as sudden fever, headache, muscle pain, vomiting, diarrhea, or unexplained bleeding should immediately report the nearest health facility. It is important to note that no cases have been recorded in West Africa, including our dear country, Ghana. However, it is said prevention is always better than cure. In that spirit, the following precautions must be adhered to. 1. Practice good hand hygiene. What this means is that we should wash our hands frequently with soap under running water or use hand sanitizers. 2. During mass gatherings, please also practice good hand hygiene, and event organizers should provide hand washing stations and hand sanitizers. Dear countrymen and women, it is important to stress that presently the risk is low in Ghana. I would like to use this opportunity to assure everybody that the government is taking all the necessary measures to protect us all.
Anunti ora kwabena minta akando no na oyeswa for hwe yapomode ensenso ana yakote ne enkare beje sewe so na yada ya hotel ye ba adwede mu nsem ne de aka echi so ye de beso.
Manager of Crystal Direct Pet Shop. Here, we have varieties of pet food and accessories. When it comes to dog foods and cat foods, we have everything. We have the 25 kg pellets, the 20 kg, the 10 kg. We have Happy Home, High Performance, Dog Chew, Jack Pet Food, GC Puppy and Adults, High Retrieval, Happy Canine. When it comes to the leashes or the collars, we have everything, whether small, medium or large. We have their supplements, their vitamins, fish oil, medicated soaps, and their tablets. We also have the flea and tick sprays, their refreshers. And when it comes to their bowls, we have different types of bowls. Stainless or plastic bowls, medium, large. We have their traveling bags, their bathing tubs, their towels, and all their chains as well. We also do breeding of dogs and cats. Whether you are looking for poodles, puppies, any mixed breed, we have them. Foreign cats too are available. When it comes to their treats, we have the big bones, we have their biscuits, we have their snacks, we have our locations. One is located at East Legon American House, adjacent KB Clay, near Intifo Avenue Street. We also have a branch at Blue Lagoon, Sacramento, opposite the Ghana Poultry Farmers Association, General Anchor Street. You can contact us on 0243 03 2066 or 020 473-8175. At Crystal Jewelry, we will always want your pets to smile.
Mayenza movie via kwa babioda so share area prento breaker Cstv so dia me so mame ama bafo de do so edwede mu ensem na oman yi mu keteke adwumayefo na nde wo bo kokko ese sa obepie bu ewo oman Ghana hanum ese ya wodwumedi a wodi afri abosome edu ba kono enya ade sempenifo etwa won ka ne sa ne ntino wode kokobo ede ma asoye no ese enta me busumi ebeto so eduasa ba kono obehwenim sempenifo betini etwa won eka.
Union formally notified government and junior senior management that the continued failure to pay salary constitutes a serious breach of statutory and contractual obligations, including violation under the Labour Act 203 at 651. We demand immediate settlement of 11 months salary arrest from June 2025 to April 2026. While we acknowledge the payment of 8 months salary arrest from October 2024 to May 2025, the prolonged delay in salary payments amount to unlawful withholding of earned wages, economic hardship of workers' livelihoods, a violation of fundamental condition of employment. We therefore issue a formal ultimatum that all salary arrests, including gross salary components, be paid no later than 31st May 2026.
Na Ghana Revenue Authority GRA mpelufo nende wobo amanye ense eto aya won eji wona aya wato nyama efri abefufide tintai no eso no wose wode dwumedie fofo kra eba eno no ebete nyama wato ewo abefufide tintai no eso wose ebe hyase eye osana ne bosome wafimpinu ni eduonu ensiemu.
The policy intention is good. It creates fairness in the system. If VAT is payable on transaction physical, it must also be paid, online when it happens. The main challenge is the implementation, which I foresee. So we expect more of, education. The authority has the power to collect the taxes. And so if education is properly, done, I believe that the policy intention will be achieved. Again, it has been a big loophole. It has been a tax saving for most transactions. I mean, digital transactions should not create a free tax space for people to move there, whilst those who have stores and physical locations are suffering the tax. So, if you're able to manage the implementation carefully, I believe that the government will be able to, raise a lot of revenue from the VAT. Remember, the decoupling was reversed. Now you can deduct as your input VAT 20% of the taxes. So if the enforcement is not properly tightened and compliance is not enhanced, government is going to lose a lot.
Nanwada nebeto eja ese kwekwe kriafo na nanwada wa trebu ese kabia koyesa abainu intria woka amachese mahama wode ye kakra ebemu achese no wobo abeni pass obainu betimi intria wo kinda make say there produced by company limited the ababeto eja ese wetimi enya sikabotni 30 million Ghana cedis wode eba betria koko ekriafo no kase ne be ya one so one ebetimi ahenhan wo.
Secure the facility for paying creditor stocks from farmers. So in doing so, we are distinguishing ourselves from the competitors who still owe cocoa farmers. So this particular act of paying for farmers' creditor stocks is going to restore credibility and rebuild the trust at the grassroots, the very foundation of our sector. And this happened because of the support of Ghana National Cocoa Farmers Association. We thank you very much. This NACOFA-backed facility, which was supported by 30 million credited stocks, is proof that PBC is not merely surviving, but actively restructuring.
Na yɛbɛfiri ɛyɛ adwadiebo asɛm na yɛde yɛni akyerɛ mu ɛwɔ obi man so yɛbɛpia mu ɛwɔ Morocco man no emu mɛka sɛ na ndrada ne bɛtɔ adwa ɛsɛ ɛdankra ɛtoatoa so bɛyɛ sɛ enum deɛ adeɛ sɛ ebubu ama mɛka sɛ nipa nkron ana wafe mu epirapira pa ɛyie nti wei ɛyɛ amanobɔ a kyerɛ sɛ news agency ɛde ɛbɛtɔ adwa mpepe waka sɛ wohwɛ afietwe mu ɛdan a kyerɛ sɛ ebubu ɛwɔ Morocco man anim no adeɛ sɛ ɛdɔɔso paa yi na yɛbɛkɔ ɛyɛ agodie mu nsɛm na ɛyɛ asamogyan ɛde nsɛm aba abɛto adwa a wɔtwerɛ mu ɛsɛ sɛ wokɔ ɛyɛ paaki sɛ wokɔ bɔbɔ a gold a wobɛhyɛ no ɛnyɛ akwanya foforɔ a wonya anaasɛ nkrabea ma yɛnti nsɛm a wɔde ɛto dwa no bi
sɛne yɛtumi hyɛ du nneɛma first no na mamfa no serious although mewɔ academy a no deɛ ɛkɔ so wɔ society no sɛ comments a ɛkɔ so sometimes no yɛtumi de yɛ adwuma menam baabi a wobɛtumi ka sɛ asɛm ɛyɛ ade na nkwara na ɔmɔba no wonkyerɛ mu sɛne yɛtumi hyɛ du nneɛma first no na mamfa no serious although mewɔ academy a mebua nkwara but I feel sɛ it's the right time next year before say go share and I say bibia na nyɛ sɛ wakɔ malam so and I say wakɔ sɔfo bi ɛbɔ mpa ma na nhyɛ act bi a yɛsua nti me yɛ mfato no bɛkara me yɛ mfato no sɛ kana me bɛbɔ no after every training session bi ano if you have 10 minutes 15 minutes practice me go scoring ability nti no ade aboa me it may do some purpose so and I testify more bi a so hu nipa mi when it comes to goal scoring nti no progress a yɛfɛ no atɔ goal scoring no ade a nso bi ato m'anim sɛ bɛbi bɛbɛ na mede empower youth no ɔmo ampɛ sɛ ɔmo bɛbɔ anaasɛ strikers anaasɛ defender koraa po no obi a wɔ any department of the game biara no ɔno nso bɛtumi nya idea about goal scoring
na wɔ asamoagya ne mmɔdemmɔ a wɔrebɔ ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Ghana football no emu nti no ɔmode asodie foforɔ koraa ɛde ahyɛ ne nsa ɛno ɛnam so ɛma Ghana Football Association President Kurt Okreku ɛde osebo paa na ɛma abrante.
Countrymen and women, tonight as we officially unveil Asamoagyan as ambassador of the Ghana Football Association for our national teams and also for our coast football, we are not simply appointing a former footballer. We are embracing legacy. We are reconnecting our future with one of the greatest symbols of our football heritage. Asamoah's appointment comes at a critical and exciting moment in Ghana football. And as we prepare for this historic journey, we recognize that qualification alone is not enough. The World Cup requires belief, unity, energy, national spirit, and emotional connection between team and country. But who better to help rally this nation than a man who has lived the World Cup dream? A man who understands what it means to carry Ghana, Africa, and in the world. As an ambassador, Asamoah will play an instrumental role in spearheading promotional campaigns, fan engagements, and corporate partnerships aimed at uniting Ghanaians behind the Black Stars. He will become a bridge between generations. He will extend beyond the senior national team. His appointment also reflects our unwavering commitment to youth football and talent development. Asamoah will champion Colours. And tonight, Ghana Football proudly entrusts you with yet another mission to inspire, to unite, and to lead.
Racket Okroku now Equator Ghana Vice Chairman at the Emma Blasters Management Committee, Stephen Donado Apia. Na unim se enchekra World Cup no ebekoso ewo Canada, Mexico na afisu USA enche ebeto edwana abrante baako a chese osiakai Emma Ghana Mohammed Kudus ebeto edwase abrante no April na Stephen Apia dia tu edwa ese emfa ho April eye Mohammed Kudus April no team no obebo wa homode na Facebook Ghana anasa World Cup also wetili isi akai na abotire no wade aba.
Anyway, but I always say, yeah, even if let me put it, our time, no, if Michael Listen is not there, no, we play. If Napia is not there, if Asamoah is not there, so I think we should carry on this level of belief, says or being new how we better be represented by. I mean, all the same, no kudus is kudus. So we more needing any the way or bonny ball. No to remember sort of way high way percentage Emma Blasters. No, yeah, now you're born by a the best because you say me sure players no the mobile man on no say me sure more performance is not there. You know, I think yeah, me feel good. I mean, most of the players so me from me no more come and they can't wait to get to this mundial to perform and show whatever they can do. So yeah, me just said and I hope say with Ghanaians with the support, no. But it's not already say I mean on making it in the World Cup. The contribution anyway, but
na yakwa kowie yakase anini na ewo enigedie mu ensena ntuni Nigeria ntuni eye TWI Savage and they were ba kasa ese anyintia wo free R&B the alcohol Afrobeat wa bra we piemu ewo Nigeria mine mu wa fimpinu ni edu emienu na wo chiremu dia wa bra na chese owo R&B nyum tuonu emunu na chese onu backup singer artist or yeah the major Michael and I feel so Mary J. My sema ababawa ede eto jaibu.
I was doing backup vocals and I met Babyface in LA and he told me that, you know, he asked what my name was and he was like, where am I from? I said Nigeria. So he's like, oh, this, you know, African music is really growing. It's going to be the next thing. And I was like, that time I only wanted to do R&B. He's like, you need to go back home, like, you know. And I started, like, obviously now I'm paying more attention to, like, More Hits, The Band, Nice. And I realized that there weren't too many females. So that was an opportunity for me to be like, okay, let me go back. But I didn't know how big the whole thing was going to be. I was just going with the wind. And then when I got to Nigeria, it was like a whole different game, a whole different challenge. Like
that's interesting.
I went on tour with Blue Cantrell, with Emma Bunton from the Spice Girls, George Michael. I did backup vocals on Whitney.
Yebejina nsenwe so na kase ya boaboa no yede esi ewa hanyu ko we na so ya sing dey ye je penie yede kase so ede ebeso mo Sarah's Dream Jewelries, Hamza Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing, KS Performance Co Limited, NAP Apartment Hotel, and also Crystal Director Shop. Amuna mo so ya sing dey yede kase so ede ebeso mo na me ameje penie me din ene mame ama Bafo in what Bafo in a middle Libya as makram.